शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपार करुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहं। सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्. So before going into the Lalita Sahasranamam class, today is Utthana Ekadasi. Today is a very special Ekadasi. It marks the end of the Chaturmasya Kalam. Mahavishnu goes into Yoga Nidra for 4 months. So in this Ekadasi, today, he wakes up from his Yoga Nidra. That is why this Ekadasi is called as Utthana Ekadasi or Prabodhini Ekadasi. Chanting Mahavishnu shlokas like Vishnu Sahasranamam, Adi Shankaracharya has written a beautiful shloka, many beautiful shlokas on Mahavishnu. There is a shloka called as Shatpadi Stotra. Mahapirava likes the Shatpadi Stotra the most. He spends a lot of pages in Devathin Kural in writing a very beautiful Tamil Bhashyam on Shatpadi Stotra. Avinayam Apanaya Vishnoho. Just for that one line, the first few words, Avinayam Apanaya. Just for those 2 words, Mahapirava writes an elaborate Bhashyam in Devathin Kural. So that is a very beautiful shloka on Mahavishnu written by Sri Adi Shankaracharya. And then there is also shlokas like Bhaja Govindam, Govindashtakam, Ranganatashtakam, Pandurangashtakam. In fact, in the last Shukla Panchami Puja, we chose Pandurangashtakam. So there are many other shlokas written by other Mahatmas like Varadarajasthavam, Madhurashtakam, Govinda Damodara Stotram. All these shlokas are there. Even chanting Bhagavad Gita is very, very special. They say in Guruvayur temple, they chant Bhagavad Gita 6 times. 6 times they chant Bhagavad Gita for this Prabodhini Ekadasi. So chanting all those shlokas, we have all Divya Prabandham as well. Beautiful songs written by all the Alvars and Acharyas. So as time permits, please chant shlokas. Please spend some time on chanting Vishnu Sahasranamam or any other Vishnu Para shlokas. It is supposed to be very, very auspicious. And tomorrow, it is called as Brindavana Dwadasi. Even during every Dwadasi, they say that we have to do Tulasi Puja. Ekadasi is for Vishnu. For Dwadasi, we should do Tulasi Puja, they say. And especially during Brindavana Dwadasi, you have to do Tulasi Puja. You have to do Tulasi Vivaha. On my back, behind me, you can see I have decorated Tulasi Mata, and then they do Tulasi Vivaham on Brindavana Dwadasi. Even if you cannot decorate, even if you don't have time, if you have just a Tulasi plant, just tie, do an Archana for Tulasi, tie a Mangal Sutra, just, and Manja Kair along with a haldi, a rope, a twine with haldi, coated with haldi. You can just tie that and then get the abundant grace of Tulasi Mata and Mahavishnu. So that is what I wanted to make before I forget. So let us now move on to Lalita Sahasranama Stotra. I believe we are seeing shloka number 74. We have seen the meaning for the first name Kalavati. Now we have to see from the next name Kalalapa. Kalavati, Kalalapa, Kanta, Kadambari Priya, Varada, Vamanayana, Varuni, Madavihvala. Kalalapa. Alapa means speech. Kala Alapa means beautiful speech, mellifluous speech. Adi Shankaracharya explains a scene from the courtroom of Sri Lalita Parabhattarika in Saundaryalahari. Saundaryalahari is the beautiful grantha where you can see lot of, description of sceneries like this. We can see lot of tantra rahasyams, many tantric rahasyas, many description of scenes, many Vedantic rahasyas, everything we can see in Saundaryalahari. So in one shloka, Acharya explains that beautiful scene. Ambal is sitting on her Simhasanam. Srimata Sri Maharajni Srimat Simhasaneshwari, right? Ambal is sitting on her Simhasanam, on her royal court. On the either side, there are numerous number of Devis and Devatas. They are waiting to have an audience with Ambal. And at that time, Saraswati Devi is present. Ambal is constantly surrounded by Mahalakshmi and Saraswati. Sachamara Ramavani Savyadakshina Sevita. Ambal is surrounded by Mahalakshmi and Saraswati on her either sides. And Saraswati, on those days, we don't have radio or TV or YouTube. On those days, Swayam Saraswati will come and sing. Even now, Saraswati comes and sings daily to Ambal. Because Saraswati is standing beside Ambal, Saraswati started singing the praise of Parameshwara. Saraswati started singing the praise of Parameshwara using her Veena. Veena is that instrument which is mentioned even from Vedas as well. In fact, they say Veena is the only musical instrument that is mentioned in Vedas. So, playing Veena is supposed to be very, very auspicious. And Veena is the only instrument with which you can play Vedas. Normally, people say Vedas can only be chanted. We cannot set a tune to Vedas. We cannot play Vedic, Vedic suktas or Sri Rudram on any musical instrument. But except for Veena, Veena is that instrument with which you can play Vedas. That is why during the Seemanta, the baby shower ceremony, the baby shower equivalent of baby shower, Seemandam and Pugumsavanam, they say, right? During that time, there is a particular part in Vedas. They say a Veena Vidwan should come and then they should play that part in Vedas so that the unborn child, the child which is inside the mother's womb will not have any developmental disorders. That is what's still practiced. So Saraswati started playing Veena in praise of Parameshwara. And Saraswati, normally when we say, if somebody is speaking so nicely, if somebody is playing any musical instrument nicely, they say, oh, she is playing like Saraswati. Here, Swayam Saraswati is playing in front of Ambal. And that is so beautiful, so moving, so melodious, so mellifluous. Everybody in the royal court is so mesmerized in that Veena Vadana of Saraswati. At that time, Saraswati got little pride. Saraswati thought, hey, my Veena is so beautiful. There is nothing in this universe that is equivalent to the nice melody that comes out from my Veena. That Saraswati's Veena is called as Kachapi. There is nothing in this world, nothing in this Brahmanda that is as beautiful, as melodious, as mellifluous as my Veena. So Saraswati, she started sprouting, little ahankara. Not even ahankara, a little bit pride. No, she is doing for good because she said, oh, I am offering the best of the best to Ambal. That is what we should take. So she started to have that little bit sprout of pride. At that time, even Ambal was so moved. Because Saraswati's Veena, it is the most melodious in the entire world. That is true. Ambal was so moved, and Ambal was saying, hey, sadhu, sadhu. Ha, ha, ha. So beautiful, so beautiful. Vareva. Adella solron illaya. And mari Ambal, she started, she didn't even utter whole words. She was like, Romba nanna irukka. Aha, aha, aha. Bale, bale, bale. Abdin solluva illaya. இந்த இதுலலாம் கச்சேரியிலலாம் அந்த மாதிரி அம்பாள் வந்து பலே சொல்றாளாம். பலே பலே அப்படின்னு அம்பாள் சொல்றாளாம். The moment the word bale came out from Ambal's mouth, Saraswati's pride has been crushed, says Acharya in Saundaryalahari. Because Ambal's words are even more beautiful than Saraswati's Veena. So Saraswati, she got ashamed, says Acharya and Saundara Lahari. And what did Saraswati do? Saraswati Devi, she packed her veena, because if people is hearing both Ambal's voice and Saraswati's veena at the same time, people will not recognize Saraswati's veena as the most beautiful, most mellifluous, most melodious thing in this entire universe. Now everybody knows that Ambal's, the voice of Ambal, the sound that comes from Ambal's mouth is even more beautiful, more melodious, more mellifluous than Saraswati's veena. So Saraswati Devi got ashamed and she started packing her veena, says Acharyal in Saundara Lahari. Vipanchya gayanti vividham apadanam pashupate tvayarabdhe vaktum chalita shirasa sadhu vachane tadiyair madhuryaihi आपलपिततन्त्री कलरवां निजां वीणां वाणी निचुलयति चोलेन निभृतम्, says Acharya in Saundara Lahari. Kachapi, there is a nama itself in Saundara Lahari that says, Smita Kachapi abdin muni on the nama. So Ambal's voice, Ambal's words are so beautiful, so mellifluous. That is what the nama Kalalapa, Kala Alapa, Kalalapa. How is that nama sound? It is Kanta. It is so mellifluous. It is so melodious. It attracts everybody. Kanta, Kanti, Gantam. A magnet is called as Gantam because it attracts all the iron particles. Ambal's voice is as melodious, is very melodious, is very mellifluous. It attracts everybody. Not only Ambal's voice is Kanta, Ambal's whole Akriti is Kanta. Ambal's whole Akriti. Sindurarana Vigraham, Trinayanam, Manikya Maulispurat, Taranayaka Shekaram, Smitamukim, Apina Vakshoruham. Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Chashakam Rattotphalam Vibratim Saumyam Ratna Ghatastha Raktacharanam Dhyayet Paramambikam Arunam Karuna Tarangitakshim Dhrita Pashankusha Pushpabana Chapam Animadhibhiravritam Mayukaihi Aham Nityeva Vibhavaye Bhavani. We chant the Dhyana shlokas of Lalita Sahasranamam, and when we chant all the namas that mentions about the Sthula Sharira of Ambal, we just have to close our eyes and imagine Ambal Swarupam through our mind. Because whatever the thing that we see through our eyes, they all have got a limitation. But whatever things that we are meditating, that we are seeing through our mind, they don't have any limitations. And they attract everybody. If we are chanting Lalita Sahasranamam, you might not even feel hungry, because hunger is something that is related to the physical body. You might not even thinking of having some water. You might not even think about having some physical discomfort while sitting. Normally, people cannot even sit for 5 minutes. But when we are doing Ambal's Dhyanam, you can sit for hours together and then do Dhyanam of Ambal, because Ambal's Akriti is Kanta. It is so much attracting. And Ambal is Kadambari Priya. So much intoxicating knowledge. Normally, knowledge cannot be referred to as intoxicating. What is intoxication? The intoxication that we know that causes a delusion in our mind. Whatever the intoxication, alcohol, drugs, they all intoxicate our mind, right? So whatever the intoxication that we know, they delude our mind. But there is a Shastric intoxication. What is Shastric intoxication? That is getting Atma Jnanam. Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam. Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyaha, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So whoever gets this knowledge, they get intoxicated onto the beauty of knowledge. They don't get deluded. all the delusion that comes from intoxication outside. But if you get intoxicated from inside, that is, if you get Atma Jnanam, you get whole Ananda and you will start singing. Upanishad says, how will be that intoxication of that person who gets Atma Jnana? Upanishad says, ah, ha, ahamanna, mahamanna, mahamannam, ahamannado, hamannado, hamannadaha. Ahag shloka krit, ahag shloka krit, ahag shloka krit, ahamasmi prathamajarutasya पूर्वं देवेभ्यो अमृतस्य नाभा. He goes Taittiriya Upanishad. That is called as, in fact, that portion in Taittiriya Upanishad itself is called as Brahmananda Anubhavam. Those who has got this Brahmananda Anubhavam, Atma Anubhavam, this is what they sing. Etat Samagayannaste. They will start singing the Samaganam. Ha. They will get intoxicated, but not these cheap intoxication. It is the most highest of the highest intoxication. In fact, they say a beautiful story that relates to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. There existed a person who is a drunkard, and his wife used to come to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. She was a devotee of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. And she started lamenting to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, hey, my husband is so drunkard. He has got all those bad qualities. Everybody's 24/7. He's under the influence of alcohol. I don't even know what to do. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa asked that wife, hey, why cannot you bring your husband to my, to that Kali temple? Because he was in that Kali temple at that time, to the Bhavadarini temple. Ramakrishna said, and the wife, she managed to bring her husband, her intoxicated husband, her drunkard husband, in the Sannidhi of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Bhavadarini, Kali Mata. The moment he saw Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the husband understood, hey, whatever the alcohol influence, whatever the ananda that I get because of alcohol, it is only fleeting. It is only short-lived. That it is because over time the alcohol wears out and then you have to drink more. And next day you are going to have hangover. All those problems you are going to have when you drink this local cheap alcohol. But even then, that person did not understand that Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was a great spiritual master. He thought, in fact, it is said in the Gospels of Ramakrishna, he came and he asked Ramakrishna, hey, Guru, you seem to be under the influence of a better alcohol. Maybe you are getting your alcohol, the Tamil Nattu Sarakku abdin solluva. The local made liquor is called as Nattu Sarakku. So he came and he asked Ramakrishna, maybe you are not having Nattu Sarakku, you are having a Seema Sarakku. You are having alcohol that is imported. That is why your ecstasy, I can see from your face that you are having you are more ecstatic than me. And Ramakrishna said, yes. This Sarakku, this alcohol, it is from outside. He is not referring from any other country, but it is coming from Bhavatarini Ambal. It is coming from that Sripuram. It is from that Chintamani Griham. Because Ambal gave the Atmananda himself, Atmananda itself to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. And later story is that even that drunkard, he got converted into a spiritual man. So Kadambari Priya, it is that intoxication that comes out of Atmananda. Amba likes that intoxication. That intoxication is good. Spiritual intoxication, that intoxication never wears out. That intoxication will not cause problem to your liver. That intoxication will not have any hangover problem. It is Ananda, 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 Anando Brahme Divyajanad. Anandadhyeva khalvimani bhutani jayante. Anandadhyeva jivani jivanti. Anandat yat prayanti abhisamvishant. So everything is Ananda. Anandam, Anandam, Paramanandam, Kadambari Priya. Ambal, see, these namas are so connected. We cannot just have that one nama and then understand the meaning of that nama. All these namas are beautifully connected. Ambal is Kadambari Priya. Ambal likes to have that ecstasy of Atmananda. Ambal does not stop with liking that Ananda. Ambal is next nama. What is the next nama? Varada. Ambal will give that Atmananda to all her devotees. If I have the most beautiful thing, if I have the most tasting thing in this entire world, I will not be ready to share that with other people. Ambal has got that Atmananda. Ambal has no problems in sharing. Ambal gives that varam. Varam dadati iti varadaha. Ambal gives that Atmananda, the boon, to all of her devotees. All we need is just to spend some time with Ambal. If we spend some time with Ambal, she will give the varam. Now, here Acharya again in Saundarya Lahari, Acharya asked that question. Normally, how do they give varam? This is called as Abhaya Mudra. This is called as Varada Mudra. It is like giving, right? You have something on your hand and then it rolls out, right? This is called as Varada Mudra. The hand should be facing down. This is called as Abhaya Mudra. The hand will be facing up. Acharya sees Lalita Parameshwari. Acharya sees Kanchi Kamakshi. She has got 4 hands. Chaturbahu Samanvita, Ragaswarupa Pashadya, Krodha Karankushojwala, Manorupekshukodanda, Panjatan Sayaka. She is handing Pasham on her one hand. She is handing Angusham on her one hand. She is having Kodanda, a will on her one hand. She is having 5 flowers on her other hand. She does not have any Abhaya Mudra or Varada Mudra. Acharya asked, Hey Ambal, Twadanyah Panibhyam Abhayavarado Daivataganaha Tvameva Naiva Tvameka Naiva Si Prakatitavara Bhityabhinaya. Hey Ambal, all the other devatas, they have Abhaya Mudra, they have Varada Mudra, they give Abhayam through this Mudra, through their hand, they give Varadam through the other hand. But hey Ambal, hey Kamakshi, you are not having Abhaya Mudra or you are not having Varada Mudra. Then how do you give to people? How do you give people what they want? How do you remove all of your devotees' fear? He says, Bhayat tratum datum phalamapi cha vancha samadikam. Bhayat tratum dhatum phalamapi cha vancha samadikam. You are giving more than what they need. Bhayat tratum. You are removing all of your devotees' fears. And you are also giving more than what they need. If I ask for $100 to Ambal, she is giving me $150. Bhayat tratum dhatum phalam apicha vancha samadikam. How? Sharanye lokanam tavahi charanau eva nipunau. You don't have to use your hands to give vara. You just use your legs. Sharanye Lokanam Tavahi Charanau. Charanau means legs. Tavahi Charanau Eva Nipunau. Even you don't have to give. Involuntarily, your feet will give all the people what they want. Varam, and your feet themselves will remove all the fears of all of your devotees. They will give more than what your devotees want. Varada Yai Namaha. Ambal will give us all of what we want just through her legs. Varada Vamanayana. And this Varam also includes the Brahmananda that we talked about earlier. Brahma Jnanam, Shiva Jnana Pradayini, Atma Jnana Pradayini, Jnana Prasunambika. All these are different names of Ambal. So Ambal gives all the local varam, also the Jnana varam. That is what here the Nama says Varada Vamanayana. What is Vamanayana? Vama. One of the meaning of the word Vama is left. Vamanayana is that Ambal only has got left side. No, 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 no. In fact, that is also there. But the Mukhya Artham for Vamanayana is beautiful. Vama also means beautiful. Vamanayana, Ambal's eyes are so beautiful. If we see in Madurai Meenakshi, Ambal derived her name because her eyes are so beautiful. Beautiful. Vamanayana. And also left-eyed is also true. Ambal has got left eye. Do you know how it is true? See Ardhanarishwara Swarupam. In Ardhanarishwara Swarupam, all the left portion of Shiva Shakti Aikyam. Ardhanarishwara Swarupam is Shiva Shakti Aikya Swarupam, and all the left side of that Shiva Shakti Aikya Swarupam belongs to that of Ambal. So at that time, in Ardhanari Swarupam, Ambal is Vamanayana. She has the left eye of Ardhanari. So Vamanayana, beautiful eyed, Vamanayana, left-eyed in Ardhanari Swarupam as well. Varada, Vamanayana, Varuni, Madavihvala. Even this is related to Vedanta. Varuni, Madavihvala. Ambal enjoys, Vihvala enjoys. Mada, intoxication. Intoxication of what? There is a Vidya that is said in Upanishad itself. That Vidya is called as Varuni Vidya. Saishabha Gavi Varuni Vidya. It says Taittiriya Upanishad, the third Valli, Tritiya Bhruguvalli. In Bhruguvalli, it says Bhrugurvai Varunihi Varunam Pitaramupasasara Adihi Bhagavo Brahmeti Tasma Etat Provacha Annam Pranam Chakshushrotram Manovachamiti Tagumhovacha Yatova Imani Bhutani Jayante Ye Najatani Jivanti Yat Prayantyabhisam Vishanti Tad Vijijñāsasva Tad Brahmeti Satapotapyata Satapastaptva Annam Brahmeti Vyajanat Annadhyeva Khalvimani Bhutani Jayante Anne Najatani Jivanti Annam Prayantyabhisam Vishanti Tadvijñāya Punareva Varunam Pitaramupasasara Adhihi Bhagavo Brahmeti Tagumhovacha Tapasa Brahma Vijijñāsasva Tapo Brahmeti Satapotapyata Satapastaptva. It goes like Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and finally Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat. Anandadhyeva Khalvimani Bhutani Jayante Anande Najatani Jivanti Anandam Prayantyabhisam Vishantiti Saishabhar Gavi Varuni Vidya Parame Vyoman Pratisthita Yayevam Veda Pratitishthati Annavanannado Bhavati Mahan Bhavati Prajaya Pashubhir Brahmavarchasena Mahan Kirtya. It is a conversation between Varuna and Bhrugu. Bhrigu is the son. Varuna is the father. Bhrigu Maharishi asks his father, Hey Adihi Bhagavo Brahmeti. Hey father, can you teach me what is Brahman? Bhrigu asks the father, and the father explains everything, and then he concludes that Brahman is Ananda Swarupam. Anando Brahmeti Vyajanat. Anandadhyeva khalvimani bhutani jayante Anandena jatani jivanti Anandam prayantyabhisamvishanti. He concludes that Brahman is Ananda Swarupam. And this method of teaching is called as Varuni Vidya. Saishabha Gavi Varuni Vidya. So Varuni Madavihvala Ambal, because she is Ananda Swarupam, she has got that Varuni Madam. She is reveling Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha Yastvatma Ratireva Syat Atmatriptascha Manavaha. Just like how Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ambal is reveling in the Atmananda. We will move on to the next shloka. Vishwadhika Veda Vedhya Vindhyachala Nivasini Vidhatri Veda Janani Vishnumaya Vilasini. Vishwadhika, Vishwa, entire universe, entire creation is called as Vishwa. Vishwa Adhika, Ambal is little bit more than entire creation. Why do we say so? Because Ambal is the Abhinna Nimitta Karana of this entire universe. We were seeing these concepts in Viveka Chudamani as well. Ambal is the cause for this universe. Everything in this universe is Ambal. Purusha evetagum sarvam yadbhutam yadchabhavyam udamrudatvasyeeshanaha yadannena tirohasi etavanasya mahima. Says Purusha Suktam. Purusha evedagum sarvam. Purusha eva idagum sarvam. They say, only whatever we see is all Brahma Vastu. Then the question comes, then whatever we see is limited. Maybe now we cannot understand the entire universe, but the universe can be finite. If there comes a time where they say, okay, the whole universe is this much billion light years, then somebody will ask the question, okay, maybe that the only Ambal's Vibhuti is that. Because we have said that the entire universe is Ambal, then if somebody manages to measure the entire universe, then they have measured the Ambal. That is what people will say, right? No. Veda says, Padosya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Divi Tripadurdha Udhait Purushaha Padosyeha Bhavat Punaha Padosya Vishwa Bhutani. Only a quarter of Bhagavan's Vibhuti is whatever the universe that we see. Padaha means quarter. Padosya Vishwabhutani. Vishwabhutani Asya Padaha. Only a quarter of Swami's Vibhuti is this entire universe. But his unmanifested Vibhuti are 3 times more. All these are Upalakshanam. Don't say it's only this quarter and 3/4. It says, நம்ம என்ன பார்க்கிறோமோ அது கால் பங்கு அப்படின்னு நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா? அவன் என்ன பண்ணானோ அது கால் பங்கு தான் ஏன் பண்ணியிருக்கான் அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? It's not that it literally 25%, but it is just a small quantity of what he is originally capable of, right? In the same way, Purusha Suktam says, whatever that is there in this universe, it is only a kalpangu of Ambal. Mukkalpangu, we don't know. Vishwa Adhika. Mukkalpangu, we don't know. Ambal is much more higher than the entire universe. Vishwadhika Veda Vedya. How can Ambal be known? Ambal be known only through Vedas. Vedas. Vedya, she can only be known through the Vedas. Shastrayonitvat says Brahma Sutra. In Brahma Sutra, Adhato Brahma Jagnasa Janmadhyasya Adaha. What is Brahman? Whatever that is responsible for our Janmas. Janmadi Yasya Adaha says. And how do we know Brahman? Badarayana, Vedavyasa, he says, Shastrayonitvat. Brahmavastu cannot be known through Pratyakshadi Pramanas. Ambal can only be known through Shastra, through Vedas, Veda Vedya, Vindhyachala Nivasini. Ambal is present in Vindhyachala. Vindhya mountains அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? அந்த மவுண்டன்ஸ்ல Ambal is always present. Vindhya Achala Nivasini. Ambal herself says in Devi Mahatmyam, during Vaivashvata Manvantara, Ambal will be born in the house of Nandagopa. Vaivashvatentare prapte Ashtavimshati Meyuge Nandagopa Grihe Jata Vindhyachala Nivasini. Ambal will be born in the house of Nandagopa. You know, Krishnan Parakarthukku munnadi Nandagoparuடைய houseல Ambal was born, right? Ambal will be born in the house of Nandagopa, and Ambal will, Ambal as Vishnu Maya, she, she warned Kamsa, and then she went to Vindhya mountain, and she is staying in Vindhya mountains. That is why Vindhyachala Nivasini அப்படிங்கிறா. இந்த மகிஷாசுர மர்தினி ஸ்தோத்திரத்துக்கே, we chant Mahishasura Mardini Stotram, right? That Mahishasura Mardini Stotram is also called as Vindhya Nivasini Stotram. Vindhyavasini Stotram அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு ஒரு பேரே உண்டு Mahishasura Mardini Stotratuku. So Ambal is Vindhyachala Nivasini, Vidhatri, Veda Janani, Vishnumaya Vilasini. Vidhatri, Dhatra, Dhata means to hold. Tangaradu அப்படின்னு நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, to act as a support, that is called as Dhatru. That is why mother is called as Dhatru. Dhatri, Dhatru அப்படின்லாம் சொல்றோம். A mother is called as Dhatri because she supports the baby. She physically supports the entire baby. That is why a mother is called as Dhatri. Ambal is Vidhatri. She is the mother of all the mothers. That is why Ambal is called as Vidhatri. She supports the entire universe. Vishwagarbha, Swarnagarbha, அப்படின்லாம் நாம வரப்போறது. Vishwagarbha. Ambal has the entire universe in her garbha. So Vishwagarbha, Vidhatri. Ambal supports. Ambal physically holds the entire universe. Vidhatri. There is also another, there are many meanings for Vidhatri. Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma, husband of Saraswati, he is called as Vidatru. Vidatru means Brahmaji. Chaturmukha Brahma, husband of Saraswati. So Ambal is in the form of Brahma. Ambal is the Shakti of Brahma. That is why Ambal is called as Vidhatri. Rudra, Rudrani. Narayana, Narayani. Vishnu, Vaishnavi. Vidhata, Vidhatri. So Ambal is the Shakti of Vidhata Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma. That is why Ambal is also called as Vidhatri. In fact, there is another nama for Vidhatri, another meaning for Vidhatri as well, which is very relevant to the Brindavana Dwadasi, which is very, very relevant to the Tulasi Vivaha. Dhatri is called as Amla. Amla tree, Nellika Maram, gooseberry, it is called as Dhatri. Gooseberry is called as Dhatri. Mahavishnu is always present in the Amla tree. In gooseberry tree, Mahavishnu is always present. Even in the last class, I said, our Shastra has associated certain devatas with certain trees. In Vilva Vriksha, Mahalakshmi is present. In Sarakondrai Vriksham, Parameshwara is present. Like that, in Amla Vriksha, in the Amla Vriksha, in the gooseberry tree, Mahavishnu is always present. That is why for the Utthana Ekadasi, for the Utthana Dwadasi, when they do Tulasi Vivaha, they do Tulasi Vivaha along with the Nellika tree, along with the Amla tree. The Ambal is Tulasi. Mahavishnu, they won't keep any Murti of Mahavishnu, but they will tie the knot between the gooseberry tree and Tulasi tree. The Alamaram, Vepamarathukum, Alamaratukum Kalyanam, Vepamarathukum, Arasamaratukum Kalyanam la solluvalya, and the Madri, Rendu Marangalukku Kalyanam panni veppa. Tulasi chedikum, Nellika Marathukum Kalyanam panni veppa, because that Nellika Mara Dhatri is Mahavishnu Swarupa. Dhatri, Nellika is Mahavishnu Swarupa. And Ambal is Narayani. Ambal is Vaishnavi. Ambal is Govinda Rupini. So here Ambal is also called as Vidhatri. It is so apt today because tomorrow is that Tulasi Vivaha. Whoever has got access to Tulasi tree and Nellika tree, they can try doing the Tulasi Vivaha with the Amla tree. Vidhatri, Veda Janani. Ambal is Janani. Janani means Mata. Vidhatri also, one of the meaning we saw, she is the mother of all the mothers. That is why she was called as Vidhatri. Here, Veda Janani, she is the one who created the Vedas. Vedas are product of Ambal. Ambal is the one who created Vedas. Vedas are called as Apaurusheyam. There is no one author for Vedas. If we take any text, the text will have an author, except for Vedas. Vedas are not a man-made thing. Vedas, they came from Bhagavan himself. Vedas came from Ambal herself. That is why Ambal is called as Veda Janani. Tasmaad yajnat sarvahutaha ruchasamani jagnire chandagumsi jagnire tasmaad yajustasmaad ajayata tasmadasva ajayanta ekecho bhayadataha tasmaad yajnat sarvahutaha. Ambal is in the form of Yajnam. Ambal, I have previously said how Ambal, Lita Parameshwari, is in the form of fire. We have seen enough of that in previous classes. Jatavedase sunava masoma maradi yato nidahati vedaha sanaf parshadati durgani vishwa nave vasindunduritat yagnihi. Ambal is worshipped in the form of fire. Ambal is that yajna fire. From that yajna kundam, tasmaat yajnat sarvahutaha richasamani jagnire. Richaha, Rigveda, Samani jagnire. Whole Rigveda, Samaveda, they came from that yajnam. They came from that Ambal. Chandagum si jagnire tasmaat yajus tasmadajayata. Yajuhu tasmat ajayata. Even the Yajurveda, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda, all the Vedas, they came from Bhagavan himself. Says Vedas. Says Vedas themselves say that. So, Veda Janani, Vidhatri, Veda Janani, Vishnu Maya. Vishnu Maya, Yadevi Sarva Bhuteshu, Vishnu Mayedi Shabdita, Namastasyai, Namastasyai, Namastasyai Namo Namaha. Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, hey Arjuna, Mama Maya, I create this entire universe through my Maya, says Bhagavan Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So Maya is the creating faculty of Brahma Vastu. Brahma by itself cannot create. Shivashaktya yuktaha yadi bhavati shaktah prabhavitum nachedevam devaha nakhalu kushalas panditumapi. Nakhalu kushalas panditumapi. Parameshwara as Parabrahma Swarupa, he cannot move a blade of grass. In order to do that, he needs the help of Maya. Maya is Parameshwara's Shakti. Not that Maya is some other person. Parameshwara needs help of that person. No. Maya is Parameshwara's creating Shakti. Because in order to move the blade of grass, you first need to create a blade of grass. Parameshwara Brahmavastu. Brahma is Akarta, Abhokta. Brahma cannot do anything. Brahma is Nirguna. In order to create that blade of grass itself, Parameshwara needs Ambal's help. So as Mahavishnu, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I created the entire universe with my Maya. Ambal is Maya Shakti, Vishnu Maya Vilasini. Ekaiva Shakti Parameshwarasya Bhinnas Chaturdha Viniyoga Kale Bhoge Bhavani Samareshu Durga Kopeshu Kali Purusheshu Vishnuhu, says a beautiful shloka. Parameshwara's Maya Shakti is only one. Ekaiva Shakti Parameshwarasya. Depending upon how it acts, it can be called as 4 different names. Bhoge Bhavani, Samareshu Durga, Kopeshu Kali, Purusheshu Vishnuhu. When Parameshwara creates the entire universe, that Maya Shakti is called as Bhavani. When Parameshwara goes to war with all the Asuras, that Maya Shakti becomes Durga. When Parameshwara becomes angry, anger at all the adharma that happens in this universe, that Maya Shakti becomes Kali. If that Maya Shakti takes the form of a Purusha, Pugum Rupa, if that Maya Shakti takes the form of a male, then that Maya is called as Vishnu. Vishnu Maya. Vishnu Maya, next nama is Vilasini. What is Vilasini? Vilasa. It means, it also means Maya Shakti. It is called as Vikshepa Shakti of Maya. Maya has got two Shakti, Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. Whoever has listened to Viveka Chudamani or any Vedantic Grantha, they will know the difference between Avarana and Vikshepa. A very simple example for Avarana and Vishesha is that you have a projector in your house. You want to see a movie. What will you do if you want to see a movie, if you have a projector in your house? Your walls are painted nice, bright blue in color. If you project a movie onto that wall, all the movie is going to be distorted. So what do? You will put a wide screen on your wall, right? You will put a wide screen on your wall and then you project the movie onto that wide screen. So that wide screen is called as Avarana Shakti. Avarana means to hide. Avarana means to hide. You are hiding that entire wall with a white screen. That is Avarana Shakti. And you are projecting the movie onto that white screen. That projection is called as Vikshepa Shakti. Vastutaha, there is no elephant on your house. Vastutaha, there is no tiger on your wall. Vastutaha, there is no hero, heroine onto your wall. They don't come to your wall just because you are watching a movie. What you are doing? You are just projecting all those things onto a white screen. That white screen is called as avidya, because there is only one Atma, Paramatma. That Paramatma does not know its original self. So that is called as avidya avarana shakti. Not only that the Atma does not know itself, the Atma also projects several things onto itself. Whatever thing that we are seeing, they all are just like that projection onto that movie screen. Just because the hero dies onto the movie does not mean that the person originally dies. It is only a projection. It is only an acting. In the same way, Ambal as Maya Shakti, Vilasini, she projects everything onto that Brahmavastu as Vikshepa Shakti. So Ambal is Vilasini. So Vishnu Maya, that is the Avarana Shakti. Vilasini, that is the Vikshepa Shakti of Maya Ambal. Vishnu Maya Vilasini. Next shloka. Kshetra Swarupa, Kshetreshi, Kshetra, Kshetrajnapalini, Kshaya Vriddhi Vinirmukta, Kshetrapala Samarchita. Kshetra Swarupa. Ambal is in the form of all the Tirtha Kshetras. Our India is blessed with, our Bharata Varsha is blessed with so many Tirtha Kshetras. Ayodhya, Madhura, Kanchi, Kashi, Avantika, Madras, even Madras, Mailapur is a Kshetra, Kumbhakona is a Kshetra, Anyakshetre Kritam Papam, Punyakshetre Vinashyati, Punyakshetre Kritam Papam, Kasi Kshetre Vinashyati, Kashi Kshetre Kritam Papam, Kumbhagone Vinashyati, Kumbhagone Kritam Papam, Kumbhagone Naiva Vinashyati. They say, whatever papa that you do on all other kshetra, if you go to a Punya Kshetra, all those papam goes away. Okay, I go to Punya Kshetra and then I do papam in Punya Kshetra. What do? Shastra say, go to Kasi. Punya Kshetre Kritam Papam, Kasi Kshetre Vinashyati. You go to Kasi, all that papam will go away if you take a dip in Ganga. Okay, now what do I do if I do papam in Kasi? Kasi kshetre kritam papam kumbhagone vinashyati. When you do papam in Kashi, you come to Kumbhakona. When you come to Kumbhakona, even the papams that are done in Kashi will go away. Kasi kshetre kritam papam kumbhagone vinashyati. Okay, now the question is, what will happen to those papam that I do in Kumbhagona? Kumbhagone kritam papam Kumbhagonenaiva vinashyati. If you do papam in Kumbhakona itself, all the papams will go. So all of our Bharatam is bedecked with all these Tirtha Kshetras. Ambal is in the form of these Kshetras. That is why all these Kshetras has got a power to remove all of your papam. You have a fan, you have an air conditioner. Just because you have an air conditioner, it will not cool down. It will not bring down the temperature of that room. That air conditioner has to have some electricity. That air conditioner has to be blessed with electricity in order to remove heat from that room. In the same way, all these kshetras, they vastutaha, they themselves, swayam, they don't have any power to remove papams. But because all these kshetras are blessed by Ambal, because Ambal is kshetra swarupa, she is in the form of all the kshetra. That is why Ambal, all these kshetras, they can remove papams. Kshetra swarupa, kshetreshi, kshetra ishi. Ishi means to rule over. That's why Ambal, she rules over all the kshetra. All these punya kshetra will have a Swami, will have an Ambal. Ambal is in the form of all the Ambal, all the Swami and all the Ambal. She rules over all the kshetras. மதுரையில மீனாட்சி அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். மதுரையில தான் மீனாட்சிங்கிறது கிடையாது. எல்லா ஊருமே மதுரை தான். எல்லா அம்பாளுமே மீனாட்சி தான். க்ஷேத்திர ஸ்வரூபா க்ஷேத்ரேசி க்ஷேத்திர க்ஷேத்ரஜ்ஞ பாலினி. This kshetra and kshetrajna, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has spent one whole chapter for kshetra and kshetrajna. Kshetra kshetrajna vibhaga yogaha அப்படின்னே பேரு. What is a kshetra? What is a kshetrajna? Whatever we saw before as kshetra, they all are present outside. But this kshetra that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita is our body. Our body is called as kshetra. And the Atman that shines within the body is called as kshetrajna. The Jivatma, the Atma that shines within the body. It is that same Atma that shines within everybody. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vitti sarva kshetreshu bharata. சுவாமி பரமார்த்தானந்தா சொல்லுவார், அந்த சர்வங்கிறத நன்னா இழுத்து சொல்லணும் பார். சர்வ க்ஷேத்ரேசு பாரத அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும் பார். ஏன்னா all the kshetras, whatever the body, there can be many different bodies, but there can be only one kshetrajna. Kshetrajna, nya means to know. That one who knows the body, that knower consciousness, that witness consciousness. Kshetra is anatma, including our body, everything else is kshetra. Kshetrajna is that who knows, who is conscious of this body, is called as kshetrajna. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, kshetrajnam chapi mam vitti. Kshetrajnam cha api mam vitti. Hey Arjuna, know me. Vitti means to know. Know me as the kshetrajna who is present in all the kshetras. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vitti sarva kshetreshu bharata அப்படிங்கிறார் Krishna. So kshetra is the body. Kshetrajnam is the atma that is obtained within the body. Ambal is kshetra kshetrajna palini. Pa, to protect. She is the one who protects the kshetra, the body, and kshetrajna, the consciousness that is obtained within the body. With this, we will finish today's class. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thanks a lot. Nama next week papom. I also have an announcement to make. It is proposed to have an Arya Shatakam class on Fridays from 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. EST to 9 p.m. EST. It is going to be only half an hour on Fridays. We are going to see Arya Shatakam. Arya Shatakam is a part of Mukha Panchashati. Mukha Panchashati has got 500 shlokas written by Mukha Shankarendra Saraswati Swamihal, Shankaracharya in the Moolamnaya Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. Mahapariva regards Mukha Panchashati very, very highly. He says Uttamana Stutihal Moondru. He says there are 3 stutis for Ambar which are very, very auspicious. One is Arya Dushati written by sage Durvasa. Another is Saundarya Lahari written by Adi Shankaracharya. Another is Arya Shataka. Another is Mukha Panchashati written by Mukha Shankarendra Saraswati Swamihal. In that Mukha Panchashati, we are going to see the first Shatakam called as Arya Shatakam. Arya, because it is in the meter called Arya, it is called as Arya Shatakam. Ambal is also called as Arya. So Arya Shatakam, it is 100 shlokas written on Ambal. So the phalan of this Mukha Panchashati entire or the Arya Shatakam itself is Vagvilasam. Whoever wants to speak very intelligently, it is not only for kids, even for adults. If you want to speak, if you want to have nice speech, if you want others to listen to your speech, learning Arya Shatakam will be very, very helpful. So we are going to start a new batch of Arya Shatakam classes from Fridays 8:30 p.m., 8:30 to 9 p.m. Most of the classes will be taken by me. It is only a chanting class. We will only focus on chanting Arya Shatakam. And the goal is to finish the Arya Shatakam before a Navaratri. There is a Navaratri that comes in Chitra Masam during Chaitra Navaratri, Vasanta Navaratri in Solralya. And the Chaitra, before that Chaitra Navaratri, we will finish this Arya Shatakam and then we will chant this Arya Shatakam for Chaitra Navaratri. Whoever is interested, we will send you the link. We have not created a WhatsApp group yet. We will send you more info later with through this Dharmamulam channel. Please stay tuned for the Arya Shatakam classes. We will finish today's class. We will see next class. Papam Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.